Well then, let's take a look at the M48 Tactical Comma by United Cutlery. First off, to address the elephant in the room, there's nothing tactical about it. I mean, show me a single law enforcement officer or soldier who would seriously carry something like this around. Not gonna happen. But is it tacticool? You bet. I bought this one on Amazon for $46 and frankly I did not have high hopes for it. I mean, I've seen a number of quote-unquote tactical tools and weapons fail miserably in tests, break easily or bend and things like that. And this one here has a blade made of 2CR13 stainless steel, which is the Chinese version of 420. And when you look this steel up, as far as pros and cons are concerned, pros, it's extremely corrosion resistant. That's usually where it stops. I mean, yeah, it doesn't break easily because it's that soft, but being so soft, it also means it doesn't hold an edge well. It's got a pretty low carbon content. No, it's just cheap steel. So I was prepared that this would get damaged fairly easily. However, it actually surprised me when I tested it. So that's mainly due to the shape of the blade. Something like this can get away with fairly soft steel. That's quite a chunky blade. You can see how thick it is. And it's a pretty steep angle towards the edge, single bevel. And this is also not a terribly fine point. So it's definitely sturdily designed. The results weren't surprising when using this against a ballistic gel torso covered in padded cloth armor. It rips right through, no problem with that. So essentially this is more of a war pick than a sickle. And that it does pretty freaking well. It concentrates all of that force on a small area right on the point. And of pretty much everything I've tested so far, something like this is the easiest to cause a lot of damage with. You don't need to worry about edge alignment or anything like that, nor even how you swing. I mean, even a fairly casual swing with this will tear into things quite easily. So it is certainly a very effective design. However, when I tried more abusive testing, I frankly expected something to go wrong. I expected the edge to roll substantially, or the entire thing to bend, or the handle to break, things like this. I was prepared for some kind of failure, which didn't happen. Even when chopping into various kinds of wood, it was all soft wood, but still, it held up just fine. It did not warp or bend in any way. There is no damage to the edge. The point held up. It's performed far better than I was prepared for, which is pretty cool actually. I don't want things to fail. So if there is something made of cheap materials at an affordable price that still works well, I'll be happy, of course, because I always like to recommend things that are within people's budget. And yeah, so this I can't say anything negative about. It seems to be heavier than a traditional comma, which doesn't really bother me personally. It's still fairly light, in fact quite light. And all the weight is in the head, of course, because the nylon and fiberglass reinforced handle is, as you can imagine, quite light. So I'm generally skeptical about this sort of construction here, because I've seen axes and other things that are made with a tang like this in this sort of plastic handle. I've seen them fail. This is quite often where it breaks right here, because that's where the most stress is. Now they used 3 screws, which is nice, and it's very well fitted, so no gaps here on the sides. The only slight gap is right there, but it's pretty minor. So that is definitely a good fit. It also doesn't stick out. And take a look at the blade here. So this is after hacking into wood, and it's perfectly fine. There is nothing on the edge here at all. Oh, it came reasonably sharp. I say reasonably because with this sort of steep angle here and such a thick blade, it's never going to cut remarkably well. I mean, there is a reason why actual sickles and scythes for weed cutting and grass cutting are as thin as they are. That just wouldn't work with this. But as said, as a kind of a warp pick, that works perfectly fine. You can see there's just a little bit of minor scratching on the surface, but not too bad really. Same on the other side, you can see some scratches here and there, but nothing major, and the point is fine. So it did not roll or bend or anything, and it's sturdy enough. That's exactly how it needs to be. It also comes with this reinforced nylon sheath. I'm not sure what it's reinforced with. It seems to be some kind of hard foam, as far as I can tell. And it's cheaply made. You can see it's nothing to write home about really. But it'll cover the blade. It'll protect you from the blade. And it's got a strap with a snap button right here. So yeah, pretty standard, but it's nice that it's there. It's just not particularly well made. I certainly like the way it feels in the hand. You can see it's an oval cross section. It's a well-shaped handle, fairly simple, straight, and it's got some grooves for extra traction. It fits my hand really nicely. The surface has got some grip to it, but it's not abrasive. So nothing wrong with that. As said, it feels fairly light, especially for a tip-heavy piercing impact weapon like this. And, well, I like it. I like it more than I thought I would. This is really just to mess around with. It's really designed as nothing but a weapon. I don't see much tool use for this, unless you want to dig up roots or something, maybe. If you need to pierce some sturdy material. But even in a survival situation, you would not want to have something like this. You would want to have an axe or hatchet because of its many applications as a tool, whereas this here is just, you pierce things with it. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's really more of a collector's item or just, fun recreational thing. For that, yeah, it certainly is fun. I'm kind of tempted to also try throwing it. That might break it if it impacts the wrong way, but it is kind of tempting to go all Castlevania Reaper. So yeah, it's pretty good value for the money in my opinion. If you're looking for a war pick to have fun with in your backyard and whatnot, then there you go. Go all tacticool, mall ninja and stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching.